Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Tech TLDR. Today, we have an EV update. That's right, we're talking about Tesla. The fact that Elon Musk tweeted that you can now buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. We're also going to be talking about another new EV company that is sure to make quite a big splash in the United States, at least. And you'll understand why in a little bit later in the episode. So if you want to know everything, be sure to stick the whole episode. Drop a like on the video to stay on the tech side of YouTube. Let's get into this. So the first thing right here, Tesla, they also updated the way you can shift the Teslas, and look at this right here. You use your finger. That's terrifying. As an automotive maker, now if you're watching this from Europe, I'm sure you guys, most of you drive manual, I believe. Over there, it's manual shift. In the United States, it's automatic shift, and this is supposed to be like sort of like a sporty package, to have fun. It's kind of odd for an electric vehicle because you don't have like gears. It's like. But I think it's kind of terrifying to flip something on a screen like that, especially if you have like, I don't know, a kid in there or something like that who starts playing with it. You're going down the highway at 70 miles an hour. Your kid goes to change to Kids Bop on the radio, and now you're in reverse on the freeway. That's pretty terrifying. Let's get into why Elon Musk tweeted about Bitcoin. So he straight up just said you can now buy Tesla with a Bitcoin. There was no really beating around. There was no speculating. He just came right out and said it. And so he was saying that Tesla will also retain the Bitcoin as Bitcoin. They're not going to convert it to fiat, and that this is only in the United States, and that they are currently working to make the Bitcoin purchases in Europe and other nations as well. You got a lot of backlash from this, though, because you have to think about Tesla and Bitcoin and what their purposes are in the marketplace. Tesla is an electric vehicle, and the purpose of this is to be, reduce emissions, to find ways to have clean electric energy and use that to power Teslas, whether it be solar, whether it be from wind, hydro, whatever. However energy can be harnessed is great. And the point of that is that in the long term, if we can find cleaner, greener solutions, it'll be much less impactful in the environment than using fossil fuels. And okay, what's the big deal about this using Bitcoin? Bitcoin is like a detriment to the environment. If you look into that, the amount of electricity needed for mining is absolutely absurd. And there's been so many studies based on like the environmental impact Bitcoin has had. And again, I'm not going to get into conspiracies about global warming or anything like that, but you can't deny the fact that burning a ton of fossil fuels to power electricity, that there has to be some sort of environmental impact. No matter how you look at it, no matter how you can say it's government, you can say it's a conspiracy, you can say, I don't care what you say. You can let me know in the comments, because trust me, I'm sure there's going to be a big debate down there. But regardless, all of the mining power to mine Bitcoin, there's a ton of power involved. And there are green solutions to mining Bitcoin, just as well as powering electric vehicles, absolutely. But over in places in lesser fortunate areas where they're mining Bitcoin and they don't have that, the impact is quite large. And so people are really coming at Elon Musk saying, how can you be the guy that wants to have clean energy, especially with his company SolarCity, but yet let Bitcoin be the purchaser, but Bitcoin be a tool to buy your clean vehicles, and it does the exact opposite. Honestly, I think it's really just a way for him to go around government. I mean, there's government regulations on cryptocurrency, and we don't talk about that on this channel, cryptocurrency, much. It's sort of not my expertise, if you will. But I think in the long term, he's trying to find better ways of conducting business financially, and I think it's pretty cool in that sense. Is Bitcoin the right choice? That's up for you to decide, the purchaser, the consumer. And again, while you may think, well, this doesn't really affect me, I don't use Bitcoin and I can't afford a Tesla, so why do I care about this? The relevance of this is that the cryptocurrency market is actually getting bigger and more accepted, and if it becomes a permanent thing, then you may very well one day buy something with Bitcoin or whatever cryptocurrency that emerges as the top dog. And it's just an interesting pivot that Tesla is taking with the company to be able to purchase something with Bitcoin, something that fluctuates so regularly. So I'm excited to see what happens with that. I don't know if he's bullish on Bitcoin and that, or no, I'm sure he's bullish on Bitcoin, and scratch that. I'm not sure if the consumers are bullish on Bitcoin, and that's where we'll see that kind of fine line. Are people going to pay right now when they think it'll go up more? That may be the thing, is that they may purchase a lot more because of that right now. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is this company right here called Arrival. If you haven't heard of them, they are an electric vehicle startup primarily focusing on large vehicles such as vans and buses. And they secured a contract with the UPS in the United States to produce their little package vans to drive around with. Now, this article from CNBC, it talks about that and how they're also setting up a facility to produce these vehicles in North Carolina, in Charlotte, and that these will come out in the later half of 2022. That's when they'll start producing them for UPS. This is becoming a giant space in the EV market, these commercial-related vehicles. We saw in an older episode I did that the United States Postal Service contracted a military contractor, actually, to make like a half electric, some electric vehicles, some hybrid vehicles for their post-service vehicles. We saw a company called Rivian is making the vehicles for Amazon's delivery setup, and they currently have those vehicles out in Los Angeles. So now UPS, the biggest player in package delivery besides Amazon and FedEx, another huge one, and at least in the United States. Let me know if you guys are in Europe watching this. I'm curious what your guys' main transportation system is for package delivery. I'm really curious because I have no idea what it is out there, so let me know. But that in the United States is what's happening. Arrival is coming here. They recently went on the stock market and they absolutely did awful. They did what's called a SPAC merger, which is where two companies, one company that's already on the stock market merges with a new company like this, and there's no like IPO, no big event like that. It just streamlines right onto the stock market, the New York Stock Exchange, and the stock it did absolutely awful. Now, I'm not a stock investor. This isn't a channel where you should be looking for your next stock picks to get rich. I'm not going to do that for you. I have no idea. It's just something to look at, and it may be a good investment. I'm personally not going to invest in them because I just don't see that as being the next big Amazon. But it's going to be a game-changing company regardless. The fact that seeing these EV companies into the space and getting rid of the combustion, or a lot of these vehicles use diesel engines actually, which is not combustion, it is compression. Now these vehicles are making their way into this place, and by the later half of 2022 and then early 2023 is when we're going to see a lot of these vehicles hitting the road, not just from Arrival, but from companies like Rivian and the U.S. Postal Service vehicles. So I'm really excited to see that. And let me know in the comments if you are as well, because a lot of people are still skeptical about these vehicles. I personally love the idea of electric delivery vehicles. I think electric is so much better. There's so much less mechanical work going on. It's so much simpler. That's all I had to talk to you guys in this episode. I just wanted to make an EV update. I have a lot of personal stuff going on right now, so that's why I haven't been making any videos. But tomorrow we're also going to be doing a SpaceX update about what's going on. So if you want to know everything about that, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for that, and be sure to have a good day.